hello, everybody. Welcome to the show MO5000x7. I'm your host, Mo. We are getting it in. It is now June. Y'all haven't seen me in a minute. I've been super busy, and now let's get right into it because there's a lot of action going on. So with the Puffy trial, with the Mendez trial, with the escape of the people from Louisiana out of the jail, to firing on Israel, Iran going at it, Iran getting bombed. Oh man, there's so much to see. R. Kelly having a episode in jail. They had to take him to the ER. The information and entertainment news is off the chain. It's almost where do you start? Where do you want to start? What's going on? It's bananas. So straight out the gate, when you get overwhelmed with a lot of information, you have to be mindful to know that there's other things going on. So sometimes when you see the spirit fingers going crazy, you got to remember that there's other things going on, and usually it's abroad. So when there's diplomacy or things going on in the waters over other regions, they have you looking at things domestically here to the point where you don't concentrate about looking away. So be mindful of that. So let's start at home. First things first, with the Louisiana guys running that are still in the run. So I reported on my last episode, or episode 14, that these guys would be ripping and running or whatever, and they haven't been caught. They are still on the loose, and they're locked and loaded, hidden somewhere, doing things. Eventually, they're going to pop up. They're going to have to. And when they do, it'll be interesting to see what happens, what takes place in the justice system to get these guys free. A lot of people haven't paid attention to the other prisoners that were captured because some of them have been helicoptered to Angola. If you know anything about Angola, that's a place that you do not want to go for any reason. And that's where the people that escaped went. They flew them there directly. And a lot of people lose contact with them because it's like a whole nother world. So that's what happened to the other prisoners straight out the gate, with Massey running and the other gentleman running. One has been seen, one has been low key and not popping up at all. When you run into these guys, what do you do? The bounty has gone up from the last time I reported from a measly $1,000 to $50,000. I'm not even for sure what it is now. The people that were in control of the jail now have offered them a public defender, which they get anyway by law. Anybody who knows that when they go to trial, when they're recaptured, that they'll be able to have their own person defend them. So offering a public defender doesn't really do anything. On top of that, how fast and how long do you think these guys will last? Put in the comments below what you think will happen when these guys are captured, and what all do you have to say to that? Again, welcome to the show. I'm Mo. This is Mo5000x7. We are in our millionth view of the channel, so we've been celebrating that. That's kind of why I've been low key. Nobody has seen me. Been celebrating. It's been a long battle to get all of these different views out and try to get to the listeners and the people who watch things and just be all over the map with it. And so we've done that. And so we've been celebrating, and we celebrate you for watching. So all the people, all the subscribers, all the people who checked in, thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate it here. If you want to donate to the channel, you can hit us at Cash App. It is $Mo, MON, the number 8TR. That's MON as in Nancy, the number 8TR, Mo Nature. You can find us on Cash App. Donate to the channel. That allows us to move around and see all these beautiful scenes, different things outdoors, and move around and do interviews, because we got a whole slew of people lined up that are in the can that we're going to deliver to everybody as we roll out the whole thing. If you're interested in getting film, you want somebody to check you out, a photo shoot, you should check out my son. His name is Najah Knox with 2 X's. You can find him at I Shot Him. I'll have his description in there later on. You'll be able to see what it is. You can scan that. It'll pop up all his information. I also have a superstar daughter. Her name is Clever of the supergroup Mother Nature. We're going to be tearing up Chicago June 17th with Diggable Planets. So you know it's going to be crazy in Millennium Park. June 17th. I'll have the times listed so you'll know to go check it out. That's Mother Nature Bars with a Z. You can find them on all formats. Mother Nature Bars, B-A-R-Z. You can find them on all platforms. They're represented by 3V, the Superwoman group. So let me hold up that 3V. That's what it is, 3V. All the girls there, Sanchez, that's what's up. Hey, you know how I feel. You got to be real. So again, that's the home base. That's the home team. I want everybody to check stuff out. Now let's get back to the current stuff. So the jailbreak has taken the nation by storm. Massey has now become an outlaw like Jesse James. The folklore is starting to build. We're a month into the run, and they haven't been discovered, and now the police are scaling back. And that's typical of what happens when the chase gets too far out. The resources can't hold on. So that first 48, if they don't catch people and start having the tips that they need, it gets really, really difficult for those that try to catch on. Let me throw this over here. So yeah, so that's the jailbreak. Let's get to Puff. Puff Daddy. So in this trial, I know it's going to go to July. We're almost getting to July. It's mid-January. It's mid-June now. Some of the things that they've said about him have talked about his sexual preference and the people that he's been with, but they're having a hard time convincing the public what's really going on with the RICO charges. And you're starting to see some of that come into the news of flying people across state lines and making the case for that. The attorneys have been going at it. There's been constant mischarge and retrials and missed everything, misconduct, sidebars. They're trying to derail this whole thing to keep it from going far. I'm not for sure where it's going to go, but I know one thing for sure. If you're looking at him in the opinion of the people, the things that he's done and the videos that he's seen show his lifestyle, the physical beating and punching of another female that sued him. That's wild, and that shouldn't take place. You're also finding out that she's doing those same things by other people's account in the media. So they had a love-hate relationship, and she was doing some swinging too. So it's almost like mutual combat. That's a toxic thing, and that's how they got down. To me, I think all of this is a money grab because none of this came to light until as of recently. So all this time, you've heard about puffy parties for decades, going all the way back to City College and having parties and hosting mass galas with the who's who of the industry, whether it be professional sports, you have dignitaries, you have all kinds of entertainment and media people, along with label mates and all the award shows. And he's mixed with them all. And all of them are silent. And I'm wondering why. Why are you silent? This is supposed to be your guy. And there's a reason why they're silent. A lot of them may be in fear that something might come out on them. So pay attention to those things. I think Puffy is going to do maybe 5 to 10 years on some other stuff. They've already been throwing plea bargains at him, trying to get him to cave. I know there's a lot of money changing hands. So it's going to be interesting to see in the public opinion what they think and what actually happens in the legal system. I got stuff on my shoes. So that's Puff. The Mendez brothers. Soon as the Puffy trial is over, they're going to reconvene in August. You're going to see the Mendez brothers probably walk free. And there'll be all kinds of motions to derail that and push that back even further. But that will overtake this whole puff media thing, because that's going to come to a close. And the thirsty people that have been into court and doing the reporting, doing the blogging, doing the internet stuff will be thirsty, and they'll attack that with a vengeance. You're going to see all kinds of things that you've never seen coverage-wise dealing with the Menendez brothers. They've done 30 years in prison. They've done every program you can probably imagine. I don't see anything not getting them out. And the people are behind that, so they'll probably go ahead and usher those boys out, and they'll have to start their lives new. Let's get away from that. Let's go abroad. Let's talk about Iran getting bombed on. So all this time, throughout the 70s, the 80s, you think of Iran as a very wicked place that can do all kinds of damage, just like the boogeyman of the East. And the terror that they bring to people. A lot of the different things that they do and say have people frightened on a world scale. And all of a sudden, little bitty Israel fires off on them and shuts all kinds of stuff down. Iran, instead of getting mad at Israel, gets mad at the United States for possibly aiding them with missiles and whatever technology to help them bomb. So my question is Iran really as bad as you think they are? Why would you go after a person who aided an attack, allegedly, and not go after the people who attacked you? The first thing that they were saying was, we're going to get the U.S. And it's like, well, Israel the one that fired on you. None of that makes sense. The other thing is, a lot of people, especially here in the States, don't know sizes. So the United States, you know how big that is for the people who live here. But to give you the size of Iran, you have to do a comparison. So let's make that comparison. If you know where New York is, and you come to about Indiana, and you go as far as Maine, and maybe south of Florida, that's the size of Iran. That's the physical size and dimension of Iran. That's what we're dealing with. It's a relatively big place, but it's not as big as you would think in your mind the way they hype it up. So firing off on them is really easy. It's not a hard thing to do. And you saw Israel do it. And as I'm talking, I'm sure there's other things happening as we speak. There's all kinds of deals trying to get them to calm down and negotiate so that the common people don't get hurt. My question is, what happens next? You bomb this place. What is your plan for the people? What is your plan to keep peace in that region? Because, they're not afraid of war. And you better make sure that there's no small things that happen abroad, meaning here. You don't have to blow up a city to create terror. You don't have to do things on a nuclear scale. Everybody hears that word nuclear and they lose their mind and don't know how far a nuclear range actually is when a bomb goes off. You've only seen the footage of what happens in Japan when bombs are dropped. But most people don't know when a nuclear bomb is dropped, you have maybe a 20 to 30 mile radius that it affects. So you'll need multiple missiles to create destruction. I'm not saying that it doesn't destroy everything in its path. It does. But it doesn't take out what you think a nuclear bomb would. And sometimes you don't have to have a big explosion to do crazy damage. We found that out during 9/11 with the antennas being taken down from some of the buildings that create confusion so they can't be any communications. So you have to learn from history what these things do and how it works. There's people here partying it up. We just got done with the Indy races. You got done with the Belmont, the Fremont, the Kentucky Derby, the horse races. We're outside. It's baseball season, football season. People are starting to practice. All of these things are taking place. and you don't know that we're at war. You've forgotten that we need to be on edge. And so you expect the government to be on point. You expect our military to be on point and do the things that they need to do to be ready. If you don't know what's going on and you know more about the entertainment world that you're being bombarded with over and over, you're getting rocked to sleep. That's what happened to the people at Pearl Harbor. They got all the ships together, kind of closed the ranks, went to sleep, and when the bombing happened, everybody was caught off guard, and it was an easy victory for sinking battleships because people were asleep in their minds even at wartime. And are you prepared? What's your contingency plan for danger? How do you know what to do? What do you do? Where do you go? All of these things need to be on your radar so that you have somewhat of a thinking plan. You can't imagine being attacked. You can't imagine being rocked. And that can easily happen here, just like any other country. Iran is on point, and they got lit up like a Christmas tree. And they sent some missiles, and the Iron Dome that was supposed to block some of the incoming missiles for Israel, all of that didn't work. And so Israel got hit back. That can happen anywhere. And it doesn't have to happen with a missile. A dirty bomb, or somebody letting something off, or somebody that's not willing to go out like a loser and do a suicide mission, and all that's possible. You're seeing that abroad. So have in your mind what goes on, how things look, how things play out, so that you can be ready. But all this entertainment stuff in the media, man, it's to a fever pitch, to the point where you're not paying attention to what's happening in distant areas, in the seas where submarines, battleships are forming. You have airplanes and reconnaissance missions flying. There's all kind of things going on that you need to be aware of, and not what Puffy is doing. That's going to go away. That's going to come to a close. There'll be some other things to replace that. Most people can't even remember what happened before Puffy was locked up. What was the news before this happened? Outside of the Menendez brothers and the jailbreak. What was going on before that? And people have a very short-term memory here. So you're going to see all kind of different things taking place, and you need to look abroad, look around you, see what's going on. Don't get rocked to sleep up here. There's nothing worse than having all the things you need to do to defend yourself and you don't use it. I've got some friends who had some weapons and their house got invaded, and they didn't use the weapons and their house got invaded. So what good does it do if you've got the things that you have to defend yourself and you don't use them? You're just a target, and you don't want to become one. So move wisely. That's my news with that. So we're going to get on with some more news. I'm going to change the views. Please look at the backdrop. It's beautiful out here. It's a beautiful time. I'm all decked out in black and wearing flowers, being cool like I usually do on the deck. It's a beautiful, beautiful landscape out here, as far as you can see. But we're going to take it up another notch and do some sights and sounds. Yeah. Check. 1, 2, 3. Who are the people that are important to you? Put down in the comments who's important to you. Is it your family? Is it your friends? Your co-workers? Who are you responsible for? Who are you responsible to? How do you share information? Where do you get your news? When is it okay to speak up about topics? When is it cool to inform others what you know? How long does it take for you to digest information? These are the things that I want everybody to be aware of. We are in crazy times. And with that comes paranoia. You got people that act out and go wild. And you have to be calm, chill, know what's going on around you, and make your circle tight. Make sure that the people that you hang with are worthy of being hangable. Make sure that the people you talk to, you learn from as well. You don't always have to give information. Learn how to receive it at the same time. There's a lot of things that are going to be taking place as we start to warm up with the temperatures. I told everybody about that in a few episodes back about the weather, all of the predicaments of things that are going to come. Well, this weekend is the kickoff. We're starting to get up in the triple digits in the Midwest, as well as the South, and as well as the East. They already got that in certain places. And so now everybody's feeling it. The humidity goes up with that, temperatures flare. People have situations when things heat up. You also start having circuitry overloads, power overloads. You start to have people that pass away from the heat because they're not properly ready to either be outdoors and cover themselves, or their AC stopped working, Freon stopped working, a car situation, they pull over and get too hot in the car, animals and all of that. On the flip side of that, we need all kinds of things to take place, and the heat brings that, like a normal migration. There's certain things that need to grow. Plants need the sunlight. There's certain things and foods that have to grow, the crops, all of that good stuff. It needs sunlight, it needs that heat. There's going to be fires. There's going to be forest fires. We've learned that that's a very bad thing, but nature says that's a good thing because there's certain seeds that drop at certain temperatures for certain trees that drop nutrients from above only at certain temperatures. But you don't know that if you don't study, if you don't look around and see what's going on. Since I said study, and for those that are in the faith world, let's get to it. So there's lots of people who pray on things. There's people that have all types of religious thoughts of what their God or God should do, or how it's provided, and which thing works as you search for the answers. Know this: there's things that you can do on your own. There's things that are going to happen, and you can pray as hard as you want down here. If everything was so easy and you can hear from God, then you need to clue everybody in on that. And it's going to have to be a physical thing where you show some people. Because the whole faith thing, there's people who ain't rocking with that. And our people, when I say our people of dark skin, we've been rocked to sleep on a few things that haven't always been cool. And our people have perished in the name of religion that was given to them when they came to these shores. There's people that believe in so many different things. So you don't have to push your faith off on folks. Show them. When you show them, the proving will come. If you don't want to prove it, don't bother being out loud with it, because you have a clash of the titans. You have a clash of opinions. And I don't want people to feel a certain way about how you should pray or what your faith is. You can have all of that, but be mindful of the people that you share that with, because you can run into some people who will test that. You see it online. You see people getting tested. You have people of all different faiths that walk around, go door to door, knocking on stuff and preaching either the gospel or their truth of what they think the world is from God's perspective. And then there's some people who are knowledgeable of that same material. And when they speak it back, it gets difficult if you're not ready. I had some young people come talk to me the other day, who I know were not skilled in certain things. And when I took them to task, the information that I shared, I said, are you willing to look at what I share with you? Because I'm familiar with your doctrine. Are you familiar with what I have? And then it got a little goofy, and I haven't seen them return. So I don't know if I shook them to the core or they didn't want to be combative in sharing or learning information. There's certain things that are written in stone on walls that were carved. There's pictures and glyphs in all places of the earth that are not written down and not put together by man in some type of groups carrying this word all over. But the things I speak of still stand today and haven't been destroyed by the elements, storms, or even chiseling. So there's things that you need to look at as you learn and grow. I would tell anyone to spread your wings and learn about all things that you can and make sense of what you know and then start to share. But people that just come out right thinking they know the awesome way of certain things, it's like, all right, well, you got to show me some results because I've been here for a minute and the things that you're talking about, I haven't seen manifest, nor have the people before me in certain ways. So we are all a blessed people. And I say we are all a blessed people because you're here. What you do with your time is important. The animals, the plant world, the mineral world, all of it works in harmony. You just got to know how it moves. And you take the time to learn how it moves. If you caught up in Puff Daddy, you caught up in who's wearing what and who's on the red carpet, all of that has its place. But it can't overwhelm you to the point where you dumb down with information that doesn't do you any good for the future of your growth. Entertainment is fine. For those that are in the gaming world, it's cool, get your game on. But also do some pull-ups. I come from a time where all kids was outdoors. You only come inside if it was raining. And it had to be raining hard at that, because we might play football when it's raining, just for the fun of it. Move around and do some stuff. There's kids in other countries that aren't doing the things that are here. Some of the people here, man, there's some kids I seen, man, they've been eating well. And usually your most powerful countries in the world have that same issue. Any civilization that was doing good, the people started looking like how they was doing. You doing good, but you blowing up. And the countries that were having difficulties and not doing so well, you saw them shrivel up and cut and define into what they are and how they move. Right now, here in the States, you got some people that's blown up. I know some people that can't run down the block, do a push-up or a pull-up. They get winded just doing a few things. They've learned to become smart, but their bodies don't reflect the muscle world. And when you don't do that, if all of this shuts down, your microwave shut down, your smartphone and all of those products shut down, what you gonna do for food? Do you know how to hunt? Can you get in the earth and grow some things and live off of what you grow and not have other animals come and get it while you sleep? Do you know how to fish? Do you know what fish like? If you're going to get off into that. Do you know how to do those things? The basics. Most people don't take time to do that because it's like, oh man, this will be here forever. Listen, Iran found that out. They found that out. Ukraine has found that out. Russia has found that out. The things that you take for granted, man, it could be gone. So be aware of how to survive. Learn what's around you. Learn the indigenous things that grow in your region. There's certain things that grow in certain places that you might not find everywhere. I'm speaking on this in this episode because, again, it all ties into what happens when you are rocked to sleep. And you forget how to do the basics. You forget how to do certain things. You need to know. You need to be aware. not to be scary, but to have that in your toolbox when it's time to whip them tools out and figure it out. And I like that word too, toolbox. So, when you see people walking around, let's do that street slang. When you see people around, it's folks leaking, or you see some mechanics changing oil, you got to be ready for that. You got to be ready for that. Now, I just said a whole bunch of stuff. Mechanics can be thugs. Leaking means you got shot and you bleeding. Mechanics always have their tools. Some have power tools. Those are your firearms. Those are the things that you use to get busy if you have to take over some stuff or defend what you have. Be mindful of the people that are around you, because you got a lot of mechanics. You got a lot of mechanics in every city that's ready to do work. You don't want to be around them when they're doing the work. You don't want to be around them when they don't know how to use the tools that they just got or found. Be aware of what's going on the street level. For those of you that are home for the summer, because it's summertime, talk to the people that are around you. See about the elderly. See about your friends and family. Share your journey with people who might not ever go as far as you in whatever region that may be. All of that's important. And I'm going to end it with this before we end the episode with the buzzer. Don't be who you ain't. Be who you are. When you are who you are, be the best you that you can be. Don't be who you ain't. Be who you are. Be the best that you can be. When you do that, everything will roll out like red carpet. Copying somebody else and doing somebody else's thing won't get you to where you need to go. You can do that for a little bit, but eventually you're going to have to do things on your own. And copying somebody ain't going to get you where you need to be. Do your own thing. Don't try to be somebody else. Be who you are. When you do that, be the best that you can be, and you'll stand out and everything will come your way. I'm Mo, let the buzzer sound. This is MO5000x7. We've been kicking it. It's June. We're going to be doing our thing at the end of June. Juneteenth to everybody. Celebrate. Do the things that you need to do. Learn your history about people that got freed in different areas. Learn all about Juneteenth. Learn all about what's going on in summer. Learn about what the bees do in summer. Learn where them honeybees go. Learn all of that. Enjoy the space. I'm in an area that's as wide as you can see in this camera lens. And there ain't nobody out here but me. And the animals out here. And that's a shame. Everybody should partake in all of this beautiful stuff and get the fresh air and the nutrients that the trees and grass give. All of that's good for your soul, for your energy, the strength that you need. It's morning time. I got all day to walk through here and hike the trails and do all of that and get my strength up, get the earth back up in me, get the sunlight in me, get the melanin going, get the flow going, get the energy going. All of that's important. And then I affect everybody I come into contact with positivity and a renewed mind, renewed strength. Word to my daughter Cleb, I learned all of these things from some of the insight that she has in her music. So for those who want to feel the Mother Nature music, again, look up Mother Nature Bars with a Z. Mother Nature, BARZ.com. Mother Nature Instagram, you can find that. You want beautiful pictures of this landscape, see my son, Najah Knox, at I Shot Him. All of that will be put in the link so that you can see it. Thank you for everybody. You're going to see me if you want to see me in person. I will be in Chicago, June 17th. That's where I'm going to be. Millennium Park. I'm going to watch my daughter turn the show out and then watch one of my favorite hip-hop groups of all time, Diggable Planets, because they cool like that. Doodlebug, Mecca, the Ladybug, and, Butter, Ishmael, all of them, they're going to be representing hard. It's going to be a good night of hip-hop in Chicago. We're going to represent. We're going to turn Chicago out. It's going to be so much fun, but I'm going to be there. I might broadcast live. I might stream live. I might do a whole host of things, but I will be there. For those that want to celebrate that with me, come on out. I got a birthday on July 4th. That's right. I'm a firecracker, baby. Firecracker. Also, I'm going to be celebrating a week, 2 weeks later at the show because I'm going to be shooting fireworks on the 4th somewhere. I don't know where. But wherever it's going to be, I'm going to be shooting them. So I want everybody to come out, definitely see the show. Come see me, come take pictures, man. I do all of that stuff. I want to see all the people. We have tons of fans everywhere. I told y'all I'm up to 2,000 plus subscribers. That's going up. I remember when I didn't have nobody subscribe and it was cool. I remember when I only had, 30 or 40 views on the videos I have. I'm way past that now. I'm in the million zone, and it feels good to be able to do that and say that. So thank you, YouTube. Thank you for all the people that have checked me out. Again, I can't say enough. I've been celebrating. There's a lot to be excited about. The future's looking good, and it's only getting better. Um, I got so many people to thank, but I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna do that on the next episode, probably whenever. I'm gonna shout out all the people I know because there's a lot of people behind the scenes that motivate me to do the things that I do. There's some women who are in my ear telling me about all kinds of topics. There's some guys who tell me about things that they think about and stuff that they want to express. And so we try to bring it all in. I talk about cars because you see cars on my channel. I love cars, vehicles of all types. You'll see. There's music behind it, which you can chill out to and watch. All the funny things that happen in my world. I record stuff daily. I motivate. Check out the channel, MO5000x7. You can find me on YouTube. I don't have social media, so you only gonna find me there. Please check me out. I said a whole lot, and now it's time to dip out. I'm fresh to death. I got on the fresh Adidas. I'm rocking this flower style Hawaii shirt, rocking the hat backwards, still blinging with the straight up heavy dookie jewelry. Word to Slick Rick. Of course, I keep my chain. I let my chain hang. This ain't just any chain. These are my son's names that I made years ago when we were little, like a little family doing things. And to this day, I still have that, and they're grown men now. So you keep things precious, you keep things close. That's what's up. I'm out. MO, you know what it is. Mo is short for Geronimo. If you didn't know, now you do. And like I say, I'm out. And that's what's up.